thought Hangman was really awesome. Holy shit. That got us to level 24. Yo guys, what is up? Max on our first Descendant video, and today we're going to be going over the best Descendant and Weapon experience farms after the update. In this update, they added the new 400% dungeons, but they also buffed the XP and Weapon experience that you earn in a lot of other dungeons. There was dungeons that were taking a lot longer than other dungeons that weren't really rewarding enough experience, and now that's been changed. There's more weapon experience in the dungeons, so I wanted to break down what is now the new best XP farms. You guys know the drill. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's get right into it. So before we get into the best experience farm, I wanted to bring up a honorable mention, and that is actually the Heart of the Fortress dungeon. Now, I would consider this one of the hardest dungeons in the game. It's also where you get the ultimate Freyna modules, Toxic Mixture, and Venom Injection, so you've got a pretty good incentive to run it. But this is currently dropping the most experience in the game. I get to level 40 doing 3 of these dungeons. Only need to run 3 times. These dungeons were taking me about 7 to 8 minutes, and if you don't want to deal with loading screens, or you've got a slow system where loading screens take you a really long time, you can run 3 Hearts of the Fortress with an XP booster on and a booster or an XP component on, and you will get level 40 in 3 runs of the dungeon. It's kind of insane. One run on a level 1 fresh character of this dungeon was leveling me to level 24, which is ridiculous. And so if you don't want to deal with loading screens, Heart of the Fortress is really nice, but it is definitely not the fastest. I was getting to level 40 in about 24 minutes of doing this. Around that time, with our best XP farm being around 15 minutes to get to level 40. And let's talk about that now. So the best XP farm that I've found is the 400% dungeons. To no one's surprise, I'm sure you probably could have guessed that if you run them yourself. The interesting thing about the 400% dungeons is they rotate every day, and so I tested yesterday with the 400% dungeons, and I wanted to be double sure that they were the best, and it wasn't just oh, I just got a good dungeon that day and that's why it was the best. These dungeons, I would say on average, you can hit level 40 with the booster and an XP component on in about 16 minutes, which is disgusting. Obviously, these are truly based on your kill efficiency. If you are wanting to be leveling really quickly in these, it's a lot easier to be playing in a group, and it's a lot easier when you have a Descendant like Ultimate Freyna or Bunny on your team that can kill large packs of enemies quickly. You can do these. For example, this shelter dungeon we were doing in 2 minutes and 20 seconds, just blasting with a group from chat with a bunch of bunnies and Freynas, and that experience farm is ridiculous. But the big advantage that these dungeons have over the normal dungeons, for example, running Heart of the Fortress, is my Descendant was not getting to level 40, or my weapon was not getting to level 40 in Heart of the Fortress. It's significantly less weapon experience. However, with the mob density in the 400% dungeons, it felt about equal with weapon experience, where my weapon was usually hitting level 40 around the same time that my Descendant was. And so these 400% missions, while they are going to rotate daily, and sometimes there might be not as great of a 400% mission, I would say on average these are, if you want to level quickly, the fastest experience farm. A quick little tip for these 400% dungeons, because they're rotating and they're going to be a different one every day, is to run when you're starting out, to run both of them and see which one is fastest, and then run, a good rule of thumb is just to run whichever one you can complete faster, even if the one that you are completing faster is giving you slightly less experience. The big thing with these is if you're getting the mission complete more often, you're going to be getting more Transcendent modules per hour, you're going to be getting more amorphous materials per hour, you're just going to be getting more of your stuff that you care about, more dungeon mats per hour, and so that's kind of what I would recommend. Obviously, you could run whatever dungeons you want, but if you're going to run a bunch in a day, I typically recommend running the one that is going to give you the most completions per hour. If you don't want to run the 400% dungeons for some reason, you can still run Biolab, and Magisters are still really good experience farms. These will get you both to about level 40 in 20 minutes versus the 16 minutes from the Yeah, 400% dungeons. The big thing to note with Magisters and Biolab is that you just simply won't gain nearly as much weapon experience as the 400%, and that's really the big incentive to do them. So in terms of like the rank of experience farms, I would rank the 400% invasion dungeons on any given day as the #1 spot. The #2 spot I would give to Magisters. The #3 spot I would give to Biolab, and the #4 spot I would give to Heart of the Fortress. Guys, that's going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. I'm still very curious. They like teased off this in the like preview of what's left to come in season 1, and that is that they're changing the defense missions to have the same amount of density as the 400% dungeons, and they're going to be reducing them to take about 10 minutes. So like when this drops, these like crazy defense missions, these could be the new best experience farm, but obviously those are not in the game yet. But very excited for when they do this update. So yeah, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Peace.